Hey guys, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today and thank you for your support. Today I'm going to be covering 3 new jazz reissues from both the Acoustic Sounds Jazz Series and the Blue Note Classic Series. So stay tuned for that. Before I get started, if you're new, I encourage you to subscribe. Please hit subscribe and notification. That way you'll be sure to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So first, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that when I do jazz videos, I usually preface it by stating that I am a new time jazz listener. I've only been exploring jazz through these main series, you know, the Blue Note Classic, the Blue Note Tone Poet, and the Craft and the Acoustic Sounds series. And prior to that, I hadn't heard much of this music at all. So this is a first impression video, first listen in most cases. I have heard a little bit of We Get Requests before, but not in depth at all. So We Get Requests is the new release from the Acoustic Sounds Verve series. It's mastered by Ryan Smith at Sterling and pressed at QRP, and it's housed in a nice Stoughton gatefold as usual. The previous edition I had was picked up because I had gotten a collection, about a bit of a collection from someone, and there was a couple of jazz titles in there, and I wasn't into jazz at the time, and it was a reissue of this album in a single sleeve. It looked kind of like a cheap reissue. It didn't look anything like this, which is deluxe. And I listened to it, gave it a cursory listen when I first had it and before I sold it. So I did hear it once, not very closely, and I let it go. And I kind of regret it now. I wish I had held on to it to do a comparison, but that's okay because this one's in the house and I love this one. I put it on the other night and I was listening to it and really enjoying it. Put it on a second time, and I have to laugh because a friend of mine called during my second listen to this, and he heard it in the background, and I said, I'm really enjoying this new Acoustic Sounds release. It sounds wonderful. And he goes, yeah. He goes, that one does sound wonderful. And he said, but the music is a little, what was the word he used? Dinner jazzy or something like that, like dinner club jazz. And I was like, well, maybe you're right. It is a little bit like that. And once I had that picture in my mind, it was hard to let go of. I looked at the cover again and I saw them up on the stage with the drapes behind them, and I was like, yeah, maybe it is a little bit like that. I could picture myself in a club with this, you know, easier listening kind of music while I'm drinking and eating. But, you know, I thought that was kind of funny, but I didn't really think that myself when I first heard it. I just thought it was an easier listen kind of jazz album with familiar standards and just a beautifully recorded album and well performed. I loved it. It's, you know, for me, if you know my jazz taste so far, which you know, I've done a bunch of videos on these different reissues, and if it's too chaotic or cluttered or adventurous, it takes me a little while to get accustomed to it. If it's a little bit more engaging and relaxing and, you know, that kind of listen, more ballads, more, I don't know, you know, instrumentation that's not too aggressive, those are the kind of things I like and I take to right away. And this is one of those type of records. Very easy to get into. Some of the cuts are Quiet Nights and Quiet Stars, Days of Wine and Roses, My One and Only Love, People, You know, there's a bunch of stuff that was popular in the 60s on here. And sound-wise, it was just a delight to listen to. You know, I know there's a 45 out there. I don't have it to compare. But I think if you want a great 33, this is an excellent, excellent way to get it. And I had no problems with the pressing by QRP. It was centered and flawless out of the sleeve. And yeah, I thought it was a wonderful listen, very engaging. If you want to concentrate on it, there's a lot to get out of it. If you want it more in the background, it's okay too. If you want to eat dinner by it, be my guest. But it deserves more than that. So that's all I can say about that. Moving on to the next one, Larry Young Unity. So these are Blue Note Classic series releases, Unity and Adam's Apple. And this one is featuring Larry Young, Woody Shaw, Joe Henderson, and Elvin Jones. Okay, so this one got a lot of, I've been on forums reading about Blue Note Classics and jazz in general, and I remember almost a year ago, people were kind of clamoring for this title and Adam's Apple. Well, that's not Adam's Apple, and Adam's Apple. And I said, well, wow, people really, really want these, and I guess they're top tier Blue Notes. So I thought, well, I'm going to love both of them for sure. And I do like Unity a lot. I don't like it as much as my previous and only other Larry Young led album, which is Into Something. This was released on the Blue Note 80 series and is still available. By the way, I'll leave links for all these down below, so if you want to order them from Amazon, you can, and help support the channel. This one features Grant Green. So I like Grant Green a lot, and when I see his name on a record, I know I'm going to love it. And I like organ jazz too. So this was a winner for me, especially where the compositions are more open and relaxed. I like this one a lot. Unity, on the other hand, was a little bit busy for me, a little chaotic in times. I thought a lot of the tracks sounded very similar, and I didn't sense a lot of variety. This is just a first listen. You have to bear that in mind. And this is the kind of record that's going to give more and more as I listen more and more. But it's not something I got right out of the gate. And if you have never heard it before and you're thinking of getting it, and you're not used to jazz like this, you may find the same thing. So it sounds wonderful. There's no question about that. These are mastered by Kevin Gray, pressed at optimal very well, by the way. No issues right out of the sleeve. But this one I didn't take to as much as Into Something, which I thought was wonderful. But that's something that's going to reveal itself more and more as time goes on. The big surprise of the three was Adam's Apple. I had not heard a note of this before this. And this one features Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Reginald Workman, and Joe Chambers. Now, this is a nice combination for me. I like this a lot. And I like the fact that the compositions allow Herbie Hancock to have a lot of space to do his thing. And I love the way Rudy Van Gelder recorded this set. Wayne Shorter sounds amazing on this. The tone of the sax and the presence of the sax is beautiful, just beautiful. The drum sound is excellent as well. The bass is good too. A nice balance of instruments, and the music surprised me that I liked it so much. I thought maybe I would not like Wayne Shorter so much. It's the first Wayne Shorter album I had, and I was surprised. There's a nice mix of styles on here. So there's straight ahead jazz, there's a little bluesy, a little Latin, some slow ballads. I found a lot to like on this. I really liked Adam's Apple, which leads off the set. El Gaucho I liked a lot, had the little Latin beat going on, which I appreciated. Footprints, again, wonderful cut. Teru was probably the slowest cut on the album. A nice relaxed ballad and just beautiful playing. Chief Crazy Horse ends the album on a bang, and it's all good. It's definitely A tier Blue Note, and I see why people really wanted it, and I understand now. I'm really, really glad I got it. And when I was listening to it, I was thinking, I know it's available on a Music Matters release, and I'm like, I don't see how this could sound much better, unless it was at 45 perhaps, but the sound is to die for in this. It's wonderful, and really, really impressive job by Kevin Gray and the Optimal team. A beautiful release. One thing I can say about this, and I don't want to start another MoFi gate, take a look at that. There is no print on the spine except for the catalog number and Blue Note. Obviously an oversight. Hopefully they will correct it in the future. But it was kind of surprising that they let that go and missed it. So anyway, that's my first impressions of the music, first time listens to the music, and I'd love to know what you think about these releases. If you have them, or if you're just getting them now, let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, this is Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.